Buckle up, folks. It's Dick Buttons time. He don't sugarcoat, he don't play nice. Truth bombs dropping like a roll of loaded dice. They cut through the noise, through the spinning fluff. Dick's got a mic, and he's calling your bluff. It's the world, the world, the world, according to Dick Buttons. Honest, loud, and zero regrets. He's the voice you won't forget. Fridays hit hard when the truth comes crashing on the world, according to Dick Buttons.
That's right, everybody. This is Dick Buttons, and you have pressed play on The World According to Dick Buttons. Welcome back. Why don't we dive into this week's episode of The World According to Dick Buttons? Let's fucking go.
He's fed up, fired up, and ready to unload. Hold on to your pants. It's time for Dick Buttons Rants.
All right, let's talk about one of life's simplest, most universal truths. Green means go. Not ponder life's mysteries, not check your horoscope, not update your Instagram bio. Go. And yet, every single day, I find myself stuck behind some human roadblock who seems utterly stunned like a deer in headlights that the traffic light just turned green. And we're not talking 1 second delays here. I mean, sitting there long enough for me to wonder if they've fallen into a coma or been abducted by aliens mid-commute. Now look, I get it. In the grand scheme of things, this is not exactly a world-ending catastrophe. But isn't that what these rants are all about? The little things that make you question humanity's ability to function in public? What are they doing that's so important? Staring at their phone like it's about to give them tomorrow's lottery numbers? Daydreaming about their weekend plans? Adjusting the GPS because apparently finding the nearest Starbucks is more important than driving. Applying makeup like they're backstage at a fashion week. Unwrapping a drive-thru burger and building it like a Lego set. Having a full-on text argument with their significant other. But here's what's going on in my head. Are they trying to defuse a bomb they think is hidden in their glove box? They're practicing their acceptance speech for best supporting role in a left turn. Solving Rubik's Cube with their feet. Milking an emotional goodbye with their air freshener. Summoning spirits from the glove compartment. Or performing open heart surgery on the cup holder. Look, we could fix this. How about bigger and brighter countdown timers or lights so obvious they have no excuse? Mandatory eyes forward checks in the driver's ed refreshers every 10 years. A fine for excessive green light hesitation. You pause more than 5 seconds, pay up. Now here's what I'd like to see. How about installing ejector seats? Light turns green, you don't move, boom, you're airborne. Hire green light police, armed with Nerf bats to knock on your window. In-car tasers that give you a little reminder zap after 3 seconds of inaction. Or how about a giant clown horn attached to my front bumper that blares directly into your back seat? Look, folks, life is short, traffic is long, and we're all just trying to get where we're going without aging 10 years in a single red light cycle. So the next time you're first in line at the light and it turns green, do us all a favor. Go. You can finish your latte, solve your world hunger, and write your memoir once you're out of the intersection. Because if I have to sit through one more light cycle, thanks to someone conducting a seance in their driver's seat, I'm installing a flamethrower on my hood. Okay, strap in because this one's going to ruffle some breadsticks. We need to talk about the people, and you know who you are, who honestly believe that Olive Garden is good Italian food. Yeah, I said it. Listen, if your definition of Italian cuisine involves microwave pasta drowning in a puddle of Alfredo sauce so thick that it could patch drywall, we need to have a little sit down. Olive Garden isn't authentic Italian. It's airport layover Italian. It's we need to feed the bus tour Italian. It's a never-ending parade of beige plates all tasting vaguely like salt, garlic powder, and regret. And don't even start with, but the breadsticks. Oh, please, those breadsticks aren't culinary magic. They're salty, buttery tubes of air. You're not in love with the breadsticks. You're in love with the fact that they're free and they keep shoving them at you like they're trying to carve you into submission so you won't notice the lasagna tastes like it came out of a high school cafeteria steam tray. You want to know what's in that salad you're raving about? Iceberg lettuce, a handful of sad croutons, and dressing so chemically engineered it probably had its own lab report. If an Italian grandmother saw that thing, she'd hit you with a rolling pin until you remembered your heritage. And here's the kicker. People leave that place proud, like they just ate at a Michelin-starred restaurant in Florence. Oh, I love Italian food. I go to Olive Garden all the time. No. That's like saying you love Mexican food because you've been to Taco Bell. You've been to Olive Garden? Congratulations. You had the Olive Garden version of Italian food. Mass-produced, overcooked, and about as authentic as a Gucci bag from a gas station. Look, I'm not saying you can't enjoy Olive Garden. If you want a plate of pasta that costs $12.99 and enough sodium to pickle a walrus, knock yourself out. But don't you dare try to pass it off as good Italian. Because real Italian food? It's love. It's craft. It's history in every bite. Olive Garden is what you feed people you secretly hate but still have to buy them dinner. So here's your public service announcement. Next time you feel like having Italian, skip the endless breadsticks, find a little hole-in-the-wall joint with a nonna in the kitchen, and taste the difference. You'll thank me later. Until then, keep your fake Alfredo and bottomless salad bowls far away from my table. All right, strap in, because yes, once again, we're talking about Gen Z. And before all of you start rage TikToking at me, let me be clear. I know some fantastic Gen Zers. Smart, level-headed, forward-thinking. Some of them are sharper than a diamond-tipped drill bit. However, a majority of you seem to have a real problem with AI. And I mean, it's not just I'm a little cautious or I'm skeptical about the ethics. No, it's a full-blown AI is going to steal our souls, eat our jobs, and murder our grandma. Now, here's me being fair, because yes, even in a rant, I can do balance. I get it. You're worried AI will replace your job before you even pay off your student loans. You're concerned about deepfakes, privacy breaches, misinformation, the whole Black Mirror bingo card. And honestly, some of you are watching tech bros play God with zero regulation, and yeah, that's enough to make anyone's hair stand on end. But here's the flip side. You cannot fight progress. You can't slam the brakes on technology because you're uncomfortable. History has shown us every time something revolutionary comes along, there's fear. The printing press? Oh no, people will stop learning handwriting. Electricity? The lights will explode and kill us all. The internet? It's just a fad for nerds. Every single time society adjusts, evolves, and uses the damn thing. And here's where I lose you. AI isn't going away. Period. It's already here. In your phone, your Netflix recommendations, your map apps, your spell check, your music playlist. Half the time you're railing against AI and you're already using it. It's like hating carbs while eating a bagel. The truth? Yeah, we need ethics, rules, oversight, absolutely. But this fantasy where we could just shove AI back in the box ain't happening. You might as well try to ban oxygen because you don't like the smell of someone's breath. So Gen Z, here's my plea. Stop treating AI like it's the Terminator sent to wipe you out, and start thinking about how to work with it, learn it, master it. Use it to make your life better, your work faster, your creativity bigger, because the reality is, if you don't, someone else will. And they'll be the one holding the keys to the future while you're still writing angry thread posts about the dangers of progress. Bottom line, you can be cautious, you could be critical, but you can't be in denial. Technology doesn't care about your feelings. It's going to march forward whether you're on board or not. Your move, Gen Z.
Crank it up, let's drop the track. Dick Buttons takes you way, way back. Deep cuts, legends, riffs that bite. This is your Rebel Spotlight.
All right, music lovers, buckle in, because this week's album Spotlight takes us back to June of 1978 when Boston's own The Cars dropped their self-titled debut and quite literally rewired rock radio. This wasn't just an album. It was a sleek, chrome-plated, fuel-injected blast of new wave energy that rolled right into the Billboard charts and parked there for years. Produced by Roy Thomas Baker, yes, the same mad scientist behind Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody. The Cars was recorded at AIR Studios in London and Cherokee Studios in Los Angeles. Baker's touch is all over this record, from the precision of the harmonies to the layered, almost mechanical polish of the mix. This was the perfect sonic marriage of rock guitars and icy synths. Released by Elektra Records on June 6, 1978, the album was 9 tracks of pure radio candy. It didn't just chart, it camped on the Billboard 200 for an astounding 139 weeks. That's almost 3 years of continuous chart action. The record peaked at number 18, sold over 6 million copies in the U.S. alone, and is certified multi-platinum. The band? Rick Ocasek, rhythm guitar, lead and backing vocals, principal songwriter, and the lanky architect of the Cars sound. Benjamin Orr, bass, lead and backing vocals, including Just What I Needed and Bye Bye Love, the band's velvet-voiced secret weapon. Elliot Easton, lead guitar, the man who made every solo feel like a hook. Greg Hawkes, keyboards, synths, and the futuristic sparkle that gave the Cars their signature sound. And David Robinson, drums and percussion, who designed the now iconic album cover. The recording sessions were all business. Ocasek came in with the songs already fully formed. Roy Thomas Baker, ever the perfectionist, insisted on multiple overdubs for harmonies and guitar lines, often stacking Greg Hawkes' synth parts into shimmering walls of sound. Benjamin Orr nailed many of his vocal takes in just 1 or 2 passes. Baker famously said of Orr, had the perfect pop rock voice. And here's a fun tidbit. The band tracked most of these songs live as a unit before layering on the production gloss, which is why the record still has that band in a room punch beneath the studio shine. The hits? This debut was one of those rare beasts where every track could have been a single, and many were. Just What I Needed, the lead single, and the song that announced that the Cars have arrived. My Best Friend's Girl, a rockabilly meets new wave gem with that unforgettable clapping intro. Good Times Roll, a sarcastic anthem wrapped in smooth harmonies. And Bye Bye Love, criminally underrated power pop perfection. Even deeper cuts like All Mixed Up and You're All I've Got Tonight still sound like FM radio classics. Some fun facts. The album cover is a stock photo of Natalia Medvedeva in a Cadillac, laughing behind the wheel. A visual that perfectly matched the band's sleek, iconic vibe. Just What I Needed had been circulating as a demo on Boston radio a full year before the album came out, building massive pre-release hype. David Robinson's decision to sequence the album so that every song flows seamlessly into the next is part of why it feels so addictive start to finish. So its legacy? This album didn't just introduce the Cars, it essentially invented a new subgenre, guitar-driven new wave that could hang with both punks and pop fans. You can hear its fingerprints on everything from The Killers to Weezer. It was a new wave for people who didn't like new wave, and rock for people who thought rock was getting stale. In 2021, Rolling Stone ranked it number 16 on their 100 best debut albums of all time for a good reason. Believe it or not, there were a few songs demoed during the Cars sessions that didn't make the cut. Slip Away, a slick pop number that eventually got reworked and released in later compilations. They Won't See You, a moody, slower track that didn't fit the otherwise punchy, upbeat tone of the debut. And Take Me Now, performed live at early gigs but shelved in favor of more immediate material. So there you have it, the Cars debut, an album that didn't just roll into the rock world, it changed the lanes entirely. From the first snare hit of Good Times Roll to the dreamy fade of All Mixed Up, this record has a sound of a band arriving fully formed, cool as hell, and ready to drive straight into rock history.
1, 2, 3, 4. Hold up, it's 5. Dick Buttons list start coming in live. From the best to the worst, you don't want to miss. It's Dick Buttons top 5 list. Count 'em down, baby.
All right, my friends, it's time to spin the wheel, cue the cheesy theme music, and hand out the oversized foam checks, because this week's top 5 is all about the masters of the microphone, the titans of trivia, the kings of crowd control, the top 5 game show hosts of all time. Coming in at number 5, Monty Hall, Let's make a deal. Born in Winnipeg, Canada, Monty Hall started in radio before making his way to TV in the 1950s. By 1963, he co-created and began hosting Let's Make a Deal, a show so wild it made people dress up like giant chickens just for the chance to win a toaster. He hosted the original run from 1963 to 1986, then came back for various revivals. He was also a producer, charity fundraiser, and appeared on countless other TV shows as a guest. Why was he great? Monty's charm was in how he made contestants feel comfortable while also making them sweat bullets over whether to take the cash or risk it all for the mystery behind door number 3. The Monty Hall problem, a famous probability puzzle, was named after him, cementing his place in both pop culture and mathematics. Fun fact, Monty reportedly gave away over $20 million in cash and prizes during his career. Number 4. Steve Harvey, Family Feud. Before hosting game shows, Steve Harvey was already a successful stand-up comedian and sitcom star. He took over Family Feud in 2010 and almost single-handedly revived the show's ratings. Harvey's tenure as host has lasted well over a decade, and the show is now more popular than ever. He's also a best-selling author, talk show host, radio personality, motivational speaker. The man's resume is a CVS receipt. Harvey's skill is in his reaction shots. He can take the most ridiculous contestant answer, stare at the camera, and get a laugh without even saying a word. He turned Family Feud into a comedy event while still keeping the game moving. Harvey transformed a classic game show into a viral clip machine. His brand of humor has brought in a whole new generation of viewers. Fun fact, Steve Harvey holds the Guinness World Record for most episodes of Family Feud hosted in a day. 12 episodes. Coming in at number 3, Bob Barker, The Price is Right. Bob started in radio before landing Truth or Consequences in 1956. In 1972, he began hosting The Price is Right, a gig that lasted 35 years until his retirement in 2007. Barker was an outspoken animal rights advocate and regularly reminded viewers to help control the pet population, have your pets spayed or neutered. Why he was great? Barker had an uncanny ability to connect with everyday contestants. He could be warm and encouraging, but also quick with a witty jab. And let's face it, nobody else could make the phrase, "come on down," feel like winning the lottery. I don't think Bob Barker said "come on down." I think the announcer did. Anyway, Barker's Price is Right remains the longest-running game show in history. His name is synonymous with the show even after Drew Carey took over. Fun fact, Barker actually had to retire his famous skinny microphone. It kept breaking from decades of use. Number 2, Pat Sajak. Pat was a weatherman in Los Angeles before Merv Griffin spotted him and offered him the Wheel of Fortune job in 1981. Hosted the nighttime version for over 40 years until 2024, making him one of the longest-serving game show hosts in history. He tried his hand at late-night talk shows in 1989, The Pat Sajak Show. It failed and has appeared in TV shows and films. Why he was great? Pat's mastery was his cool, unflappable style. He never overshadowed the game, but his dry humor, playful contestant banter, and seamless pacing made the show a well-oiled machine. Sajak and Wheel are inseparable in American pop culture. His farewell season was a TV event. Fun fact, Pat Sajak holds the Guinness World Record for the longest career as a host on the same game show. And coming in at number 1, Alex Trebek, Jeopardy. Oh, wait, excuse me. Who is Alex Trebek, Jeopardy? Born in Canada, Alex Trebek started hosting in his own native country before coming to the United States to work on shows like The Wizard of Oz and High Rollers. In 1984, he became the host of Jeopardy and stayed for 36 years. Trebek hosted more than 8,200 episodes until his death in 2020. He also appeared in numerous TV cameos, often playing himself. Trebek also worked behind the scenes to keep Jeopardy sharp and fair. Why he was great? Trebek's brilliance was his ability to make intelligence cool. He treated the contestants with respect, could correct them without making them feel small, and balanced warmth with authority. He became the gold standard for quiz show hosting. His passing was mourned worldwide, not just by game show fans, but by anyone who admired his professionalism and grace. Fun fact: Trebek once held the Guinness World Record for the most game show episodes hosted by a single person until Pat Sajak surpassed him. Now, as with every Dick Button's top 5 list, there are honorable mentions that just didn't quite make the list. Gene Rayburn, Match Game, master of quirky, risque questions. One of my favorites as well. Richard Dawson, Family Feud and Match Game. The Kissing Bandit, who charmed contestants and viewers alike. Regis Philbin, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, perfected the art of the dramatic pause. Chuck Woolery, Love Connection, and Wheel of Fortune, Mr. 2 and 2. And Howie Mandel, Deal or No Deal, brought high-stakes tension to prime time. So there you have it, the 5 hosts who turned game shows into appointment television. They weren't just reading questions or spinning wheels. They were the glue that held the whole spectacle together. Without them, the game is just a game. With them, it's history.
Lights, camera, dicks on the scene, tearing through movies, funny or obscene. Block us or flop, he'll give you the news with popcorn, sarcasm, and strong pointed views. It's time for Dick Button's Movie Review.
That's right. It's time for another Dick Button's movie review. And yes, this is a spoiler review. This week's movie, Weapons. Zach Cregger, the man who gave us Barbarian, a wickedly smart, unpredictable ride that had me grinning like a maniac the whole way through. So when the trailer for Weapons dropped, oh, I was ready. I was all in. I figured this was going to be another horror knockout. Well, they fooled me again. The plot? On paper, intriguing. Multiple POV storyline, creepy disappearances, hints of supernatural menace. Sounds like a buffet of tension and mystery, right? Wrong. Somewhere between the paper-thin performances of Josh Brolin and Jennifer Gardner, both whom looked like they were reading their lines off of cue cards, and the narrative bouncing around like a drunk squirrel, the movie just falls apart. And not gracefully. I'm talking a 200-pound sack of potatoes hitting the floor kind of collapse. And then, the payoff? A freaking witch. Yes, folks, the big reveal is that Gladys, Alex's aunt, is behind it all. She's dabbling in witchcraft, playing with strange plants, and doing hair and stick rituals like she's auditioning for a rejected Blair Witch sequel. She's manipulating people into mutilating themselves and turning them into her weapons. Ooh, scary. The so-called turning point is Alex finally flipping her magic back on her, distracting her long enough for the kids to escape and take her down. Honestly, the only thing scary at this point was realizing that there is still 10 minutes left in this movie. Were there a few jump scares? Sure. Did they work? Meh. I've had more adrenaline spikes watching my toaster eject bread. The movie had everything going for it. Star power, a hot director, a killer trailer, and it just fizzled. The only real weapon here is the tangled, bloated POV structure and the pacing issues that made 100 minutes feel like 300. My final verdict? Weapons gets 2 out of 5 dicks from me, and that's me being generous.
Flashback time, don't miss. It's the moment to reminisce. Old school vibes with a twist. Hey, hey, remember this.
All right, folks, on this segment of Remember This, we are popping the cap on a fizzy little piece of history, glass soda bottles. And I'm not talking about the cute little 12-ounce Coca-Cola you could still get at a specialty store. No, no, no. I'm talking about the big boys, 2-liter soda bottles in glass. Yeah, you heard me, 2 liters in glass. And when you tell Gen Z that, they look at you like you've sprouted 5 heads. Hey Z, there's a lot you don't know. Pay attention. You might learn some shit. Soda originally came in glass bottles because, well, that's all we had. In the late 1800s and early 1900s, glass was king, heavy, reusable, and it kept carbonation like a champ. By the mid 20th century, your everyday Coke or Pepsi came in smaller glass bottles, 6.5 ounces, then the king size, 10 or 12 ounces, and eventually the family size quart. Then the 70s hit, and the soda companies went big. 2-liter glass bottles. They were like medieval weapons disguised as party drinks, but it didn't last forever because something new rolled onto the scene: plastic bottles. In the late 70s and early 80s, soda makers started transitioning to PET, polyethylene triethylate. These bottles were lighter, cheaper to produce, and easier to transport. And let's be real, a lot less likely to turn aisle 7 into a crime scene when someone bumped the display. By the mid-1980s, plastic had taken over almost entirely. Why? Cost, convenience, and safety. You could drop a plastic bottle and not have it explode into a fizzy, sugary minefield of shards. Plus, it was easier for people to take on picnics, to the beach, or to a ball game without breaking their back or their foot. Now, here's the million-dollar question. Are we better off health-wise? Plastic turned out to be its own devil. BPA concerns, microplastics, chemicals leaching into our drinks. Glass doesn't do that. But glass had its own dangers. When a 2-liter glass bottle fell, it was like a grenade. Grocery store cleanup on aisle 5 was no joke. Shards everywhere, soda spraying like Old Faithful. Some poor stock boy with a broom wondering why he ever applied for the job. Could we ever go back? Given what we know about plastic's environmental and health impact, could we see a return to glass? Maybe in niche markets, specialty sodas, local bottlers, they already do it. But for the big companies, it's tough. Glass is heavier, shipping costs skyrocket, and the grocery store aisles would need way sturdier shelving. Glass soda bottles, especially those massive 2 liters, were a status symbol at parties in the 70s and early 80s. They looked classy, felt substantial, and kept your Coke ice cold. They also doubled as a solid arm workout when you carried them from your car. But now, Gen Z can't imagine soda in anything other than plastic or a can. They think you're making it up when you say 2-liter glass bottle. Nope, it was real, it existed, and if you dropped one, it was the loudest, most dramatic thing to happen in the grocery store that day. So remember this. Before soda came in a squeaky, crinkly plastic bottle, it came in a gleaming glass jug that could double as a blunt weapon. It looked better, tasted better, and yes, it was heavier than a bowling ball. And maybe, just maybe, one day we'll realize progress isn't always better, and we'll bring the glass back. Just watch your toes.
Down the rabbit hole we go. Oh no! Crack the code, let the truth show. Tinfoil hat, toss it away. Dick Buttons is here to save the day. Deep dives, no lies, busted myths left and right. Conspiracies crumble under his spotlight. Down the rabbit hole. Dick Buttons sets it straight tonight.
All right, my tinfoil hat wearing friends, buckle up because this week's segment for Down the Rabbit Hole, we're punching a one-way ticket to the granddaddy of all government conspiracy theories, Area 51. Is it real? Oh, it's real. No question. Area 51 is an actual United States Air Force facility located within the Nevada Test and Training Range. It's officially called Groom Lake or Homey Airport. But you and I both know nobody drives to the middle of the desert to tour Homey Airport. For decades, the government wouldn't even acknowledge it existed until 2013, when a CIA declassification finally admitted, yeah, okay, there's something out there. The proof? Satellite images? Check. Former employee testimonies? Check. A whole lot of blacked out Freedom of Information Act requests? Triple check. This place is guarded like Fort Knox's weird cousin. Armed patrols, sensors buried in the sand, and signs that basically say, you will not make it out alive if you try to get cute. The airspace above it is permanently restricted, and commercial pilots know better than to accidentally wander in there unless they enjoy explaining themselves to men in dark sunglasses. So what's the conspiracy and cover-up? Here's where the rabbit hole goes deep. The official story is that Area 51 is where they test experimental aircraft and classified tech. Stealth bombers, spy planes, things they don't want the rest of the world to know about until they're already flying over your head. The unofficial story? Oh, buddy, it's aliens. Roswell crash debris, reverse engineered UFOs, autopsy footage, hangar bays full of spacecrafts. Bob Lazar, the man he claims he worked on an alien propulsion system there, says it's not just a testing site, it's a garage for otherworldly hardware. Of course, the government response to Lazar's claims was, well, they erased his employment records and pretended he never existed, because that's not suspicious at all, is it? Some fun facts. The CIA only acknowledged Area 51's existence in 2013 after 66 years of what base? Never heard of it. The famous black-eyed alien image, first popularized by the alleged alien autopsy film, which the creator later admitted was a recreation. Storm Area 51 in 2019? That was an actual event that started as a joke on Facebook and ended with a couple of arrests and a handful of confused tourists and a very nervous Air Force. So has it been debunked? Well, yes and no. Many UFO sightings linked to Area 51 in the 50s and 60s were later explained as people seeing test flights of then secret aircraft like the U-2 spy plane or the SR-71 Blackbird. Those planes looked alien compared to what people were used to. But here's the thing. Just because they debunked some sightings doesn't mean they debunked everything. The military still won't say exactly what goes on there. And when you lock something down that hard for decades, you're not exactly killing the rumor mill. Satellite photos show massive hangars big enough to hide, well, just about anything. There's an on-site power plant, runways longer than anything at LAX, and newly constructed buildings that don't match any known military aircraft requirements. Some believe those are for reverse engineering spacecraft. Others think that it's a staging ground for next-generation hypersonic aircraft. And the real conspiracy junkies, they'll tell you it's both. So is Area 51 just a military testing ground or the world's most secret alien warehouse? Maybe it's both. But until the day the gates swing wide open, and good luck with that, we'll keep peering through the desert dust, looking for clues and wondering if the truth is still out there. About 83 miles northwest of Las Vegas.
Thought he was done. Think again. He's fired up and taking name. It's time for even more dick buttons.
Buckle up, kids, because today we're going after one of the most obnoxious, ear-splitting, why do you even exist phenomena plaguing our streets. Those Honda Civics with the special mufflers that make them sound like someone shoving firecrackers up their tailpipe. You know the ones. Slammed so low they scrape over the manhole covers, paint job from the can of Monster Energy, and a muffler that doesn't enhance performance so much as simulate a small war zone. Congratulations, champ. You successfully made your 4-cylinder commuter sound like a blender full of lug nuts having a seizure. And here's my question. Why? What deep primal need does this satisfy? Is it to impress women? Because newsflash, the only thing you're attracting is noise complaints and eye rolls. Is it to feel like you're in the Fast and Furious? Hate to break it to you, but Vin Diesel isn't showing up to shake your hand. You're just pissing off people who are trying to watch Netflix in peace. And don't get me started on the timing. There's one of these asshats on my block every night between 10:30 and 11:30 p.m. like clockwork, flying down the street at Mach Jesus, waking up babies, rattling windows, and making every dog within 3 counties lose its mind. Oh, thanks, buddy. I didn't want to sleep anyway. Aren't there sound ordinance for this crap? I mean, I could get a ticket if my neighbor's leaf blower runs 3 minutes past the approved hours, but Captain Civic over here could just break the sound barrier with his performance exhaust and nobody bats an eye? Where are the cops when you actually need them? All right. Probably stuck behind another Civic in a Dunkin' Donuts drive-thru. I apologize for that one. It was too easy. Look, if you need a car to sound like it's coughing up fireworks just to feel alive, I've got a suggestion. Go to the shooting range. Join a drum circle. Light an M80 in your own bathroom, but stop turning residential streets into your personal drag strip. Some of us actually like living in neighborhoods that don't sound like Call of Duty suburban warfare. Until then, I'll be sitting by the window every night with a cup of chamomile tea, waiting for this guy to fly by, because the second his muffler backfires in front of my house, I'm calling every noise complaint hotline I can find. Okay, I'm about to blow a fuse, literally, because we need to talk about one of life's most ridiculous modern day tortures, plugging in a USB cable. How? How is it possible, after all these years, that every single time, without fail, we put the damn thing in the wrong way first? Not sometimes, not occasionally, every single time. Like there's a USB goblin sitting there in the port, laughing his little goblin ass off, waiting for you to fumble. You look at it, you line it up, you're sure you've got it right. Nope, won't go. You flip it, still won't go. Flip it back, magically, it slides right in. What kind of voodoo physics is this? Is there a USB dimension we don't know about? Are laws of reality actually bending just to make us look stupid? And don't you dare tell me, oh, they're universal. Universal my ass. If by universal you mean universally frustrating, then yeah, nailed it. And don't think I haven't noticed the microscopic hieroglyphics on the side of the plug that are supposed to help, because I can totally see that in the dim, dust bunny ridden cave behind my desk where these things live. You know what kills me? We've got Wi-Fi, self-driving cars, billionaires sending rockets into space, but apparently the human race is too stupid or too sadistic to make USB plugs that go in either way. I know about USB-C, great, fantastic, but guess what? The evil twin USB-A is still everywhere, haunting laptops, printers, hotel rooms, rental cars, and every piece of tech made before 2017. We've literally spent decades proving we can't get this right. Decades! And yet, like absolute idiots, we keep trying, keep failing, keep flipping. The worst part? That triumphant feeling when it finally goes in. You've accomplished something, like you've earned it. No, you just lost 30 seconds of your life to a piece of plastic that cost $2.99 at Walgreens. So here's my plea. Either make every USB cable reversible, or give me a lifetime supply of therapy to deal with the psychological damage this nonsense has caused. Until then, I'll be under my desk swearing at an inanimate object like it owes me money. All right, folks, today's rage isn't about the existence of grocery store end caps. It's about the fact that these devious little retail traps actually work on me, and that's what really fries my bacon. See, I know what those end caps are for, and I understand the psychology. They're the marketing equivalent of waving a neon sign that says, "Hey, impulse shopper, look over here." And every time I stroll into the store, I puff my chest out thinking, not me, I'm too smart for that. And then bam, I'm at the register with a cart full of crap I didn't plan on buying. Why? Because I fell face first in their fluorescent lit trap like Wile E. Coyote chasing a Roadrunner sale. They put the end caps in the high-end traffic areas on purpose. They load them up with limited time products or seasonal junk so you feel like you'll miss out if you don't grab it now. And then they rotate them constantly so your brain thinks, oh, new, different, I need this. And what do you find there? Oh, just the greatest hits of retail manipulation. Giant tubs of cheese balls the size of a toddler. Holiday-themed Oreos you didn't even know existed. Random kitchen gadgets like a pancake batter dispenser. 2-for-1 soda deals stacked like a wall of carbonated temptation. Those family-sized bags of chips that somehow disappear in one weekend. And pumpkin spice everything in September. Limited edition cereals with marshmallows shaped like whatever's trending. And here's the thing. I'm not even sure what makes me madder. The fact that these stores think they can subliminally control my wallet, or the fact that they absolutely 100% can without fail. It's like they know my weakness better than I do. I walk in for milk and bread, and I leave with a novelty jar of pickles, 3 bags of kettle corn, and a seasonal coffee creamer I never tried before. Oh, but I had to get it. It was only here for a limited time. Yeah, limited to the next 4 months until they push the next round of junk on me. So to every grocery store marketing team out there, congratulations. You win. You got me. Again. And I hate you for it. Not because you're sneaky geniuses, but because I walked in thinking I was the one in control, and I walked out with a damn inflatable pool float shaped like a pineapple. All right, I got to get this off my chest, and I don't care if you call me a cranky old man, because this one has been boiling in my brain like a pot of bad clam chowder left under a heat lamp since the Clinton administration. We're talking about parents who bring their screaming, banshee-level gremlin mode kids into a restaurant and then just sit there. Like it's totally fine. Like the rest of us paid $25 for a plate of pasta and an ear-splitting soundtrack of little Timmy auditioning for the lead in Chainsaw Massacre, the musical. No, just no. Here's the deal. When your kid hits that pitch where glassware starts to hum, like it's about to shatter, that's your cue. That's your pick up the child and exit stage left moment. I don't care if you're halfway through your appetizer. I don't care if you just got your entree. If your kid's vocal cords have turned into the call of the damned, your move, period. And don't give me that they're just kids excuse. Yeah, I know they're just kids. And I was just trying to enjoy my dinner without feeling like I was dining inside of a malfunctioning fire alarm. Your lack of action doesn't make you a laid-back, cool parent. It makes you the human equivalent of that guy who lets his dog poop in the middle of the sidewalk and walks away. And here's the cherry on this rancid sundae. The parents who ignore it, just scrolling on their phones while their child is 3 seconds away from summoning a demon. Oh, sure, Karen. Answer that text. It's obviously more important than the fact that your child's voice is currently being used by NASA to test rocket durability. We all signed up for dinner. Not dinner theater starring the spawn of chaos. Restaurants are public spaces, not your personal living room. If you wouldn't let your kids scream like that during a wedding ceremony at a church, why is it okay when I'm trying to eat chicken parm? So here's the public service announcement. If your kid loses it, take them outside until they calm down. I did it as a parent. That's it. The whole rule. It's not complicated. If you can't handle that, then do us all a fucking favor. Order takeout. The rest of us will thank you. Your server will thank you. And honestly, your kid will probably thank you too when they're old enough to realize they were that kid. Because if I have to sit through one more meal with the soundtrack of a toddler exorcism, I'm bringing noise-canceling headphones to every restaurant from now on. And trust me, they won't be for me. All right, gather around, everybody, because I've got a public service announcement for every tourist, influencer, and general oxygen thief out there who thinks it's perfectly fine just to stop dead in the middle of a moving crowd, especially in places like Times Square. What the hell are you thinking? Do you people have any concept of momentum? Any awareness of your surroundings? You're in a wall-to-wall flood of humanity, shoulder to shoulder, everybody moving like a river, and you decide, hey, this is the perfect spot to stand perfectly still and take a selfie. Oh, sure. Nothing says memorable moment like causing a 5-person pileup and getting cursed at in 12 languages. And it's not just the pictures. Sometimes they stop to check their phone, tie their shoe, or have a full-blown conversation like they're at a backyard barbecue. Meanwhile, the rest of us are playing human bumper cars, trying not to trample grandma while avoiding that guy selling knockoff statues of Liberty hats. Here's the thing. If you're in a crowd, you're part of a living, moving organism. You can't just slam on the brakes without warning. That's crowd etiquette 101. There are edges, corners, open spaces for a reason. Use them. Step aside. Pull over. But no, these clueless wonders are either so detached from reality, they think the universe will just pause for their Instagram shot, or they generally don't give a damn about anyone else's time, space, or sanity. Both are unacceptable. And Times Square? That's not just any street. That's the Super Bowl of pedestrian traffic. You can't just decide the middle of Broadway as your personal photo studio without creating a human traffic jam so bad it should have its own lane closure notice. So here's my solution. Anyone caught doing a full stop in the middle of a moving crowd without a medical emergency should be required to wear a giant neon sandwich board that says, I am the problem, for the rest of the day. Maybe then they'll think twice about turning into a human roadblock. Until then, I'll be out there, elbows sharpened, ready to clear a path through these oblivious statues before they bring the entire city to a grinding halt.
Lights, camera, spotlight. From scene stealers to silver screen legends. It's time for Actor Spotlight.
All right, movie fans, grab your popcorn and maybe a glass of Merlot, because this week's Actor Spotlight shines squarely on one of Hollywood's most unlikely leading men and one of its most consistent scene stealers, Paul Giamatti. Paul Edward Valentine Giamatti was born June 6, 1967, in New Haven, Connecticut, into a family where brains and ambition were practically genetic. His father, A. Bartlett Giamatti, was the president of Yale University and later the commissioner of Major League Baseball. His mother, Toni, was an English teacher and actress. Paul took the artistic path early, studying English at Yale before going full throttle into acting with a Master of Fine Arts from the Yale School of Drama. Like many actors, Giamatti's early career was filled with bit parts and supporting roles. You'd see him in movies and think, hey, isn't that the guy from? He popped up in Past Midnight in 1991, then got small but memorable roles in Singles, 1992, Mighty Aphrodite in 1995, and Donnie Brasco in 1997. On TV, he appeared in NYPD Blue and Homicide: Life on the Street. For a lot of people, Paul Giamatti officially arrived with private parts in 1997, playing Howard Stern's hilariously uptight boss, Pig Vomit. But his true breakout came in the early 2000s with American Splendor, where he embodied comic book writer Harvey Pekar, and Sideways in 2004, where his turn as sad sack wine lover Miles earned him a Golden Globe nomination and solidified his place as leading man who could make vulnerability magnetic. His best roles? Pig Vomit, 1997, Private Parts, one of the best parts of the movie. Miles Raymond, Sideways, 2004, vulnerable, neurotic, and unforgettable. Harvey Pekar, American Splendor, 2003, a perfect marriage of actor and subject. Joe Gould, Cinderella Man in 2005, earned him an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor. John Adams, in the HBO Max, whatever the fuck you want to call it, John Adams Show. Won him an Emmy, a Golden Globe, and a SAG Award. Barney Panofsky, Barney's Version, 2010, won him a Golden Globe. Kenny Rushton in Win-Win from 2011, a quiet, heartfelt indie gem. And who could ever forget Chuck Rhodes in Billions, aired from 2016 to 2023, a masterclass in cunning, swagger, and moral conflict. Giamatti is famously picky. While he doesn't publicize every part he's passed on, he is admitted to steering clear of certain big-budget tentpoles when they didn't speak to him creatively. There have been whispers of him passing on multiple villain roles in comic book films, preferring characters with depth over sheer spectacle, though he did have a blast chewing scenery as Rhino in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 from 2014. Paul Giamatti's legacy is simple. He is the ultimate everyman actor who can do anything. Comedy, drama, biopic, villain, hero, you name it. He's worked with directors like Ron Howard, M. Night Shyamalan, Alexander Payne, and Steven Spielberg, and still has the guts to take weird, small, character-driven projects alongside his award-season fare. He's the guy who can disappear into a role so completely that you forget you're watching an actor at all. His hardware? Academy Award nominated for Best Supporting Actor in Cinderella Man 2005. Primetime Emmy Awards? Winner for John Adams in 2008, lead actor in a mini-series or movie. Golden Globes? 2 wins. Barney's Version in 2011 and John Adams in 2009. Multiple nominations, including Sideways and The Holdovers. SAG Awards? Multiple wins, multiple nominations. And in 2024, Giamatti picked up an Academy Award nomination for Best Actor for The Holdovers, proving he's still at the top of his game nearly 3 decades into his career. Fun facts. He never set out to be a leading man. He assumed he'd be a character actor for life. Giamatti has voiced characters in animated hits like Robots and Turbo. He's a huge baseball fan, likely thanks to his father's MLB connection. He once said he didn't own a car until his 40s. True New Yorker energy. Look, Paul Giamatti isn't the loudest name in Hollywood, but he's the kind of actor who makes every project better just by showing up. Whether he's playing a wine snob, a cranky history teacher, or John freaking Adams, he's the real deal. A craftsman who proves year after year that substance always beats flash.
He's bold, he's sharp, he's in the know. Get ready, folks, it's Vincenzo. Say his name and feel the glow. Buckle up, kids, you're in the Vincenzo.
Alrighty, kids, that is right. It is time for the Vincenzone. And you know what that means? right across from me. Hello, sir.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
And for a second time in the world according to Dick Button's history, we are freewheeling it. We have no official script.
How scary.
It worked out so good the first time. I will say I do like the spontaneity of it.
Yeah, I do.
But we could just meander for 45 minutes to an hour and not get anything constructive done. I was going to do a proper rant about this for episode 20, which does end season 3.
All right.
So next week will be the last episode for season 3, and the following week we will start season 4. But I did see on the news today that New Balance,
or as my grandmother used to call them, off balance. She says, "Can I get some of those shoes at the shoe store, the white ones?" I said, "Grandma, I don't know which ones you mean." She goes, the white ones that all the older people wear." I said, and I started naming brands. She said, "Oh, I remember now. It's off balance." So close, so close.
You gotta love the old people. That is funny.
It is funny.
So this guy was on News 4 complaining to the customer advocate reporter. He ordered what he thought was a pair of New Balance sneakers, and he gets one shoe in the mail.
Where did he buy them from?
The New Balance website. And it's a new. Wait a minute.
Wait, I have a story for this.
It is a new strategy from New Balance, selling one fucking shoe at a time.
Is it to get payment?
No. So who the fuck needs one shoe? And before all you handicapped people start messaging me and leaving me death threats, I understand there are people with prosthetics who,
Correct.
But I've seen fucking videos where the people with the prosthetics have sneakers on that foot too.
Correct.
So New Balance could not, when contacted by News 4, could not come up with a valid reason why they went to this new strategy. Maybe I only can afford my left sneaker this week. They got him his money back and a coupon for his next purchase, but I would stay away from New Balance. That makes no fucking sense to me.
So this was a strategy I used back in the day before the internet. I saw something in the back of a magazine that said, Japan, a buyer in Japan is buying Nike sneakers from the United States.
Okay.
So I said, well, that's a lot of money they were offering. But
for
back in the day, you had
smelly sneakers.
Yeah, for the used sneakers, they'll clean them up and just restore.
Oh,
And sometimes if they're broke in, they're even better.
I know what they did. They give them to the kids that are working 16, 17-hour days making the iPhones.
A little something to make you feel better.
That's what they're doing.
No, so I thought, I don't know if it's legit. I asked a couple people. Somebody had suggested mail them one shoe, have them mail you the payment so that it's not a scam, and then you'll mail them the other shoe.
Okay, that's not what New Balance is doing, though. But I mean,
I know, but it's so did they do it by mistake? Maybe
no. This was a new business strategy when they were contacted.
NBNB, new business strategy for New Balance.
I don't understand why you would buy one fucking sneaker.
No, that's one earring, maybe.
I don't even understand. Well, okay, you could
For
wear one earring. Yes,
I wear one earring, and you have that choice to pair. Or you can go on Etsy and it'll say, do you want a pair? Do you want one single? Yeah, but the shoes, that's a whole different story.
That brings a new light to the argument that Archie Bunker and Meathead had. Do you remember that episode?
No, refresh my memory.
So they argued that Archie was saying he was watching Meathead put his sneakers and socks on, socks and sneakers. And Mike Stivic did a sock, a shoe, a shoe.
Okay.
And Archie was like, what the hell are you doing? He goes, what do you mean, what am I doing? I'm putting my shoe on. He goes, what are you doing it like that for? He goes, what if there's a fire?
So Archie wanted to do a sock, a shoe.
Right. And then so Meathead goes, well then, by your theory, if there's a fire, I'm hopping around to get out of the house. He goes, yeah, but if it's muddy outside, now you have wet socks. He goes, what's the difference? You know what I'm going to do? In post, I'm going to put that clip over us.
Do you know that we don't catch that fishing boat? There ain't gonna be no deep sea fish. You will have to stay on the dock with the old people here. Hold it. What are you doing here? What? What about the other foot? There ain't no sock on it. I'll get to it. Don't you know that the whole world puts on a sock and a sock and a shoe and a shoe?
I like to take care of 1 foot at a time.
That's the dumbest thing I ever heard in my life.
It's just as quick my way.
Wait a minute, that ain't the point. You see what I don't keep doing it. Listen to me. Suppose there's a fire in the house and you got to run for your life. Your way, all you got on is 1 shoe and a sock. My way, you got on a sock and a sock. You see, you're even.
Suppose it's raining or snowing outside. Your way, with a sock on each foot, my feet would get wet. My way, with a sock and a shoe on 1 foot, I could hop around and stay dry.
I think you've been hopping around on your head. Wait a minute, listen to me. Suppose when the other sock's got a hole in it.
Doesn't have a hole in it.
I said supposing
All
it's
right,
got a hole.
suppose it has a hole.
All right, it's got a hole in it. So, you ain't got another matching pair, so what do you gotta do? Your way, you gotta take off a whole shoe and a sock. My way, all you gotta do is take off 1 sock.
All right, if it'll make you happy, I'll start all over again.
No, you're halfway through. Now, gee, get on with it. We're in a hurry. You can start doing it the right way tomorrow morning. And do it that way for the rest of your life.
Maybe I haven't. I just don't remember. It was so long ago.
It was a good show.
Yeah, it was.
I
It was
had-
groundbreaking.
Yeah, groundbreaking.
It made. My mom was very much a progressive, and so she loved progressive music, progressive TV shows. She would watch it with my dad, and my dad would squirm. And my mother was embracing the change and the progression.
Yeah, but if you think about it, okay, progressive, but he was also a misogynistic, racist.
No, but the tone and the subject
Yeah,
matter
that was
very progressive.
Yeah, women. Yeah, I get
Sure,
it. Yeah.
my father was not
Okay,
having it.
all right. Oh, so he enjoyed the black jokes and the Puerto
No.
Rican jokes.
None of that either.
Oh, okay.
He was just, it was just very uncomfortable.
My grandfather laughed hysterically at that. Could you imagine that show being on today?
Oh, so many things can't be done
No,
today.
the whole fucking show can't be
The
done.
whole show, anything by, you can't do the Spaceballs, and
They're doing part 2, by the way.
they're doing it now.
Yeah, I said they're
Yeah.
doing part 2.
Yeah.
Now, just like History of the World Part 2,
Right.
it's not going to be good.
No,
History of the World Part 2 was cringe-worthy.
that was terrible.
Even with Mel Brooks involved, right?
Yeah.
And it had A-listers, man. It was everybody who was anybody in comedy, because of course, who doesn't want to work with Mel Brooks, right?
Correct.
But every fucking joke fell like a sack of potatoes.
It was terrible.
It was bad, very bad. I had a good experience this week with Facebook Marketplace.
Did you? Because I'm going to have to sell a table eventually on it.
Well, I was actually purchasing.
Oh, what did you purchase?
See the dual monitors back there? The 24-inch?
Oh, yeah.
$50 for both of them.
Wow.
They wanted my can we do this on WhatsApp? No, we can't. It was all stupid, but they're good, and I got a nice deal. So kudos
People are just getting rid of stuff.
Kudos to Marketplace for one successful. I don't know what their success rate is, but
Well, you also have to worry. It depends on what you're selling, how much you're selling it for. You got to know what the comps are. Can't just be throwing stuff out there and saying, "Well, it's worth $100."
they're basically brand. I mean, I do my research too. Like I looked up. He had the model number. I looked it up. I mean, they're decent monitors. What are you gonna do? What else happened this week? Throwing it to you now. Not that I don't have anything, but
I am looking forward to our next Halloween attraction.
yes. For any of you who do not know, Vincenzo and I are Halloween nerds.
We're just nerds,
or
but we really Halloween nerds.
nerds that excel in Marvel and all that, superhero shit. But we did narrow down where we're going to go. And this is going to sound bad. So we've been doing this for how many years?
Ooh, we started doubling up attractions because we've been going
But
to so many.
We used to take the kids too. So
Yeah.
the kids. So I'm going to say over 10 years we've been going.
At least.
At least that. So from going from state to state, we're based in New Jersey, so the tri-state area is pretty much. We have not actually, there are other attractions like in Ohio, which really is not that far of a drive if you think about it. It's like 6 hours, isn't it?
I have to stay over.
Yeah, we have to stay over. But why I like Pennsylvania, and you could all put comments in the bottom there if you like. In New York and New Jersey, the actors can't touch you.
Correct. We like to be touched.
In Pennsylvania, they could touch you, and I like to be touched. It adds to the.
Well, it adds to the jump scare because if they're reaching out for your leg in the mist and you can't see them, it's great.
Otherwise, you're just walking through shit and listen, I'm 60 fucking years old. Someone jumping out at me is not going to do it for me. And I felt that way last year. The place was decent, but we've been there before. Right. And that's I don't think you could repeat it because you
know what to expect.
Unless they change it up.
Yeah, but still, you're so familiar with it. How much could you really change it up?
A lot of the places, did you look at all the links that I sent?
I did, and then I looked at some of the reviews. A lot of the places were just reminding me of the places we've been to.
Yeah.
I wonder if they purposely don't make it a little scarier because for liability reasons.
Well, I mean, we sign waivers at every fucking place we go.
There should be more jump scares. Every time we go through a Halloween attraction, come around the corner and go, oh, that's a great place for somebody to jump out. And then nothing happens.
Well, it is hard. Listen, you can't employ 70.
No, but I think you can strategically place them. Get them in the rafters, get them in the dark corner, have the windows slide open or something.
Maybe we should start our own Halloween haunt.
Well, it would be crazy. Talk about,
well,
liability.
we couldn't do it ourselves, but the only thing we haven't attempted yet, like if you go online, there are places that you get submerged in water, fake blood, they bury you. So, I mean,
I think somewhere in between where we go and that.
Oh, you couldn't handle that?
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to fucking bury you, like kill you, but I mean, it's.
Like I can do claustrophobia. I don't have claustrophobia. They could do the bury thing.
You're good with MRIs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not.
No.
Nope.
No.
No. So then the bury thing would not be good for me.
No, it would not be good. Have you not seen like Kill Bill where they buried her alive and?
Yeah, and I want Mr. Beast. One of his, who Mr. Beast is, right?
No.
He's I'm with an old man, kids.
You are.
And I'm an old man too.
Who knows a lot more than I do.
Mr. Beast was a YouTuber,
right?
Who started doing pranks and stuff, and he's a fucking millionaire now. He has protein bars, he has food, but he does challenges. And he's since he's rich, he bet his friend that he could not last 24 hours buried in a glass coffin. Now they had air pumped in,
right?
But it's with no clock. They gave him food, but he had no way of knowing what time it was. And he only could get out when he said he was ready to get out.
I just do a lot of sleeping at my age.
So
just close your eyes.
It's funny.
Take a nap,
it's funny though. It's funny though. He said the guy in the coffin, and the prize was $700, I think $800 or $700,000, something like that.
Do you wear a diaper if you have to go to the bathroom?
That
would be my main concern, by the way.
I forgot. Did I? They had to have a way. Maybe it was catheterized or something. I don't know.
I have to have some way to go to the bathroom or a diaper or something. And just could you move like your hand to your face?
Yeah.
Okay,
He had enough
if I
room
have to scratch my nose, that's okay.
He had enough room. And the funny thing was, like he said, he had the same thought. Oh, I'm just going to sleep for 12 hours, and then it's only going to be. He had no sense of time, so they had a clock, and they were showing the time. He fell asleep. He thought it was like 10 hours. It was like 45 minutes. However, when he thought he reached 24 hours, he had been in there for 72.
Oh, they punked him?
No. He was the only one who could decide when he thought it was 24 hours.
Oh.
When he hit 24, they didn't say, okay, you're done. it was up to him.
Oh, it was him. Oh, I didn't know that part.
Yeah. He had to figure out the time frame. So he got the money.
Wow.
But I don't know if I could do that. Again, you had enough room to not sit up, but maybe like on an angle. Maybe he had pillows and he had food and stuff. But when you eat the food, then you know it's got to go somewhere. Yeah. But did you see my thing on Facebook today?
Which one?
Oh, sorry.
There's so many.
The one of me and Taylor Swift.
Yeah,
and I said
her on the podcast,
and I said it worked for Travis. I don't want to date her. I just want to get her on the podcast. Well, Taylor, if you're listening.
We only have 2 chairs. Where's she going to sit?
On my lap. Sorry, Taylor. I didn't mean that. I will. We have to search out guests. We can Zoom somebody in.
Oh. Anybody?
Well, how about anybody? I know you said friends, but I they
would be lost.
Well, not off. I don't know if they have the chops for this. I'm not trying to say anything bad about people, but you have to have a certain
je ne sais quoi.
Okay. What does that actually mean?
That's French for I got my shit together.
Is that what that means? If I look it up.
I think it's you've got a certain style. Okay. You've got a certain style, way of doing things. I got a certain je ne sais quoi.
Okay. I believe you. I'm not going to look it up.
Like Jacques Cousteau had a certain je ne sais quoi. I just like to say because they were both French.
They were both French. Yeah. I never liked his show. Did you?
Oh, my father watched it every single time. So guess who had to watch it with him? It was very bland.
Yeah.
I know go under the water.
Yeah.
And then I come back up. He invented scuba gear.
He invented it?
He invented it. And the word. The whole thing.
Oh, so he was rich when he died.
Yeah, that was his
he
thing.
Wasn't. Who was Mutual of Omaha? Who
Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
Yeah, who was the
watch that
announcer for that?
He looked like Walter Cronkite, that guy. He was older, white hair, kind of bald.
Right, maybe I will ask Google.
I had to turn off my phone because of the ring, so I can't.
No, I'm on silent. Hey, Google. Who is the host of Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom? Just a second. Oh, yeah, Marlon Perkins.
Yeah.
And Jim Fowler and Pete Gross. There were 3 hosts. So Jim Fowler was the guy who went on the Tonight Show all the time with the animals.
He was the younger guy.
Yeah, and he was the guy who always brought the animals to Johnny Carson.
Correct.
Johnny Carson, there's a motherfucker. You ever see like the story on him? Like what a asshole he was to everybody? His women, his kids, the people he worked with.
He was a nut. He had an anger problem. There was all kinds of stuff going on.
Yeah. I saw a clip, and I sometimes I search it out, and sometimes I don't. And I happen to come across it on YouTube, and I laugh hysterically every fucking single time. Don Rickles was guest hosting.
I love Don Rickles.
Don Rickles, the best. Rest in peace. He was guest hosting for Johnny Carson for a week, I think. I don't know where the fuck Johnny was. Probably drying out somewhere. And Johnny kept a cigarette case on his desk.
Right.
And I forget who the guest was, and Don Rickles was fucking around with it, and he broke it.
Ooh.
And Ed McMahon says, "Oh, you're in trouble."
Oh, you are in trouble.
So then the next week, Johnny comes back, and it took him 2 days, and he's sitting at the desk. He goes, "What the hell is this?" And Ed took 2 seconds, threw Don under the bus in 2 seconds. Oh yeah, Don broke that when he was here last week. So, and for this time of TV, this was pretty cool. And you can go back and look at this YouTube clip because it's hilarious. At the time, Don Rickles was doing a TV show, CPO Sharky,
right,
where he's a Marine captain or something, or whatever. And they were filming in the same building as the Tonight Show. So Johnny goes, "Get me a camera, follow me."
We're going.
And he went on set, and he got to the door, and the red light was on, and it says, "Johnny," he says, he goes, "I don't give a shit." And he just barged in, and as soon as he saw Johnny, he knew exactly
what was going on.
But Johnny was laughing at that point. I mean, he knew what he had in that bit, like to go onto the other set. I thought that was hilarious.
Remember David Letterman used to just get up and go down the street,
yeah, and talk to guys like he made people famous who owned the convenience store down the block,
right, a souvenir shop or wherever. He would just get down there and he would just we're going to go out in the street now, and they would just follow him.
He
Like,
used to
there he
do.
goes.
He used to do. Let's see how many Spider-Man we could fit into this Dunkin' Donuts. And like he would, and without telling, like without working it out with the Dunkin' Donuts, and all right, send one in, and it was just, and the camera was there. Just, I think they got like 25 before the guy said, "All right, get the fuck out." Although I'm not gonna shit on all TV. I did binge, in a day and a half, I think,
Okay.
or maybe one. It was a weekend. I think I binged it in a day. Smoke on Apple Plus TV.
I don't have Apple Plus TV.
With Taron Egerton.
I know who he is.
Yeah, he played Elton John.
Right.
And I'm not going to give it away, although I gave it away in my review on Facebook. And I think I'm doing the review for episode 20. Did I do it? Episode 20.
Okay.
But there is a twist in like the third episode. I won't give it away to you.
Was it a good twist?
Oh my God. I'm sitting there going, okay, so the plot is he plays a arson investigator.
Okay.
And he works with this woman cop. There's some tension between them. And 2 episodes in, I'm like, all right, this is...
it's kind of a formula.
Yeah, because we've seen it. There's one on CBS. There's a
Right.
mini plot on Chicago Fire with an arson thing.
Right.
But then episode 3, I was like, what the fuck?
Could it be?
Well, I don't,
and
you're
now
going to give it up for yourself?
No, I'll make something up and see how close I am.
Okay.
He's got multiple personality disorder, and he sets the fires.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde thing? And he's going, and then he finds evidence of himself, and
So
goes and
you're-
does DNA, and he goes,
You're
"That's me."
you're almost right. I mean, he
Really?
he was setting the fires, but it wasn't like a bipolar thing.
Oh, because that's where I would have gone.
He knew he was, but he was investigating his own fucking fires and throwing the evidence off to somebody else.
That's still good.
But the twist got me because,
You're not expecting him.
they showed you the guy who was setting the fires, and he was in a hoodie, and you never got to see his face. But I
Right.
mean, and then when they got the other angle of him walking away, I was like, motherfucker, they got me. And I usually figure out shit pretty quickly.
And yeah, and some things I do and some things I don't. Like, you threw that out there, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh, it's," because I'm always yelling at the screen.
So now you ruined it for yourself. I mean, now you're gonna, if you watch it, or you can't watch
No,
it.
but now, even if I do watch it, I'll watch it for the performance. So did you really pull it off?
He played a fucked up character. Man.
Sometimes I can know what's going on. I got to see the performance. The
And
performance
the
can pull it
woman,
off.
the woman in it, she's a black woman. I don't know her name. She has a weird name. And again, please no emails.
Is it British?
No.
Okay.
Because he did not have a British accent. I know he does in real life.
Right.
I don't know the actress's name, but I've seen her in other stuff.
Okay.
John Leguizamo is in it.
I love him.
He is fucking fantastic.
He's great.
He got old though, unless they were making him look old. I don't know.
I saw him on a talk show. He looked okay.
I think maybe they made him look. He
Yeah.
played an ex-cop who was discredited, and he was retired on purpose, or made to retire. Maybe they made him look like that. And, the other thing I binged, because Stranger Things is starting in November,
Yeah, it's taking forever.
and there's like there's going to be a time jump because these kids are 30 now,
my
I think.
gosh, they're married, have kids.
But so I put on the last season.
Oh, okay.
I didn't. I was going to watch it from the beginning because, but I was like, it does not.
No.
I mean, how long ago was the last season? 2 years ago? 3?
Yeah, it was so long. I started giving up.
And it doesn't hold up.
I know it was good for the to watch the 60s vibe.
60s,
80s,
80s, yeah.
80s. Sorry,
Not that long of a time.
You're doing a podcast with an old man.
Yeah. But I remember enjoying the shit out of it when it was on. But going back,
I think that we just got caught up in like the fever pitch. People, they're selling the T-shirts, and it's the greatest thing since, and there was nothing else on.
I don't know.
And
I'm not one to fall victim to. Well, no, I take that back. I do have FO
sometimes
FOMO. I have FOMO. Yeah, fear of missing out. But it's not with TV though.
Because good TV from bad TV. That's why.
Like everyone, Bridgerton. You got to watch Bridgerton. No, I don't. No, I don't. And here's why. And again, please save your nasty emails and comments to yourself. if you're going to do a period piece,
Correct.
you better be fucking accurate. And here's the issue I had, and this is not racist.
No.
There were just a lot of black people in the show, and there weren't.
No.
And
So let me ask you a question: is Bridgerton based solely? I mean, is it supposed to be the stretch where black people actually, could actually be main characters like that?
oh, you mean
So maybe there's a purposeful stretch, not science fiction, but we stretched it to say in
Well,
our story.
well, directors
I don't know.
creators and directors can do whatever they fucking want. But my opinion,
Right.
if you're doing a period piece, let's like The Godfather,
Correct.
there better not be anybody with a fucking cell phone,
Right.
because there were no cell phones back then.
Right.
And in that time period, I defy you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think we got to look up the source material for the show and say it's not my type of show, but maybe it's stretched
Wasn't it
for that reason.
Was it written for TV?
What if?
Or was it a book?
I'm sure a lot of these things were books first.
And then everyone's telling me you have to watch The Hunting Wives.
See, certain websites, when you go to them, it says the top 5 shows you've got to watch on Prime and Netflix this week. And that's been up there. And I'm telling you, I've been disappointed before when I sat there and said, okay.
But these are actual people telling me this, like friends.
They should not be our friends anymore if we watch it.
I didn't watch it yet. I heard there's a lot of lesbian sex, which would not turn me off to the show at all.
I only saw one little trailer, or the girls were getting together and showing the newbie how to load the gun. And
yeah, but I think it's a different twist on not Lone Star. What the fuck was the other?
Is it Desperate Housewives with guns?
Desperate Housewives meets, what's the one with fucking Kevin Costner and not Lone Star, Yellowstone.
Yellowstone.
Yeah, so it's that.
Okay.
I couldn't get into Yellowstone either.
Nope. I couldn't get to nope, was my thing.
Truth be told, Dick Buttons is not a fan of Westerns. Yeah,
it's hard to do a Western and get engrossed in it. I mean, I think there's been one by Clint Eastwood.
Well, he did several.
I know. And then I only got into one of them. Yeah, it's a tough genre to get into and make it relatable and still keep some of the style, keep the tone, the style, keep it all together. It's tough.
I think that for period pieces that goes. I think it's difficult. If you don't do it right,
correct,
you're screwed.
Yeah.
And I think that's where even the sex in Bridgerton didn't save it for me.
No.
And so I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem, look at me, Dick Buttons the prude. It didn't even seem like the sex was prudent to the storyline or the scenes that it was in. It was like, okay.
It was like a cheap romance novel.
It's time for nudity.
Correct. And then she hurled her bra just as his eye twinkled. Yeah, like a cheap novel.
Yeah, I think.
You mentioned Kevin Costner, and then before that, we were mentioning watching shows with a twist. Did you catch the twist back in the day watching No Way Out with Kevin Costner?
Oh, yeah.
So I remember watching that movie.
No, I called that one.
And I only called it when he was, I guess there was a ballroom scene and there was a bar and he goes up and somebody orders a drink and he says, I'll have a vodka straight up. And the first thing I said was, and I said it out loud, I said, who drinks a vodka straight up? And they went, a vodka. And then it all started coming together.
No, I called that one.
That was that's what got it.
I called The Sixth Sense.
Oh, I did not get The Sixth Sense.
Pretty early on.
Did you?
Yeah, and I pissed off. I was in a movie theater with.
How did you figure out that he wasn't really talking to? It was so well shot.
It was well shot, but I think they left enough there for us smart people to.
Well, that explains a lot.
Mm-hmm. No, I just had a feeling.
Really?
Yeah. Because the movie wasn't really going anywhere, and I'm like, there's got to be a twist somewhere because.
And that's what everybody else was thinking, but they kept throwing you off with those little subplots where the little girl was getting poisoned, and they would throw you off here and there from the main story. I think at the end, when his wife fell asleep and the wedding ring dropped to the ground, I went, "What is that?" I still didn't get it. I was like, "So explain it to me." I don't get it.
I was fooled at Crying Game.
No, see now, I guessed Crying
You
Game.
guessed Crying?
Isn't that scary? I guessed Crying Game. I didn't figure out Sixth Sense.
Because it didn't look like a dude.
No, you know what? I worked in enough between the hospitality business, probably ruined it for me.
Yeah. What was the best movie twist that you can recall? That you were like, motherfucker.
And you said, twist. I mean, The Sixth Sense was one of them. That was up there for me, only because I didn't get it. I mean, I remember movies with shocking endings where it was like, oh no, they're not going to go there. Like Thelma and Louise, when they're, okay,
That's
we're
a
going,
twist.
we're going over that cliff. I'm going,
Well,
no.
I don't know. Didn't they make reference to going out Bonnie and Clyde style somewhere in the middle of the movie?
But I think you're in denial, or you're thinking, oh, they're trying to throw me off. And then they sat there, and Gina Davis just kind of had that.
I thought that was
Joker grin, and she was like, "Let's do it."
Biggest twist for me, and I don't even remember the twist, so I don't know how memorable the twist is. But when I used to work at West Coast Video, I got to see a lot of shit.
Mm.
And there was I know the name of the movie. Okay. I know who was in it. I just don't remember the twist. But I remember watching it and then recommending it like to every fucking person who came into the video store. Mm-hmm. The movie's called Traces of Red. Jim Belushi is the lead. He plays a cop. And I don't remember the female lead. He was a cop or a private eye. I don't remember.
Was it a good movie? Or is it just the twist?
Decent movie.
Decent movie.
I mean, it was a B movie. It wasn't a big movie. Jim Belushi's not
right.
A lister. I could argue that if his brother never died, he probably would never have been an actor. But the twist, another person who worked at the video store said, "You got to watch this." And didn't say twist, just said watch the movie. I said, "Okay, I want
twist."
If you could find it on whatever, I don't know where you could find it. Traces of Red. It was one of those 90s nudie, like not softcore porn, but there was a lot of nudity and like simulated soft porn, but Jim Belushi's in it, so it's not that he was in those
not that
scenes.
He could do soft porn.
Not that he was in those scenes, but that to me that stands out, and it couldn't be that good if I can't remember what the twist was.
I saw the twist coming, but I was in denial, and I said, "Oh, please don't let it be that." In 7.
Oh, you.
At the end, he was walking out with the box, and right away I said,
"Her head's in there." You knew that.
I did, but you were still in denial. Go, oh, please! It can't be her head.
I've had arguments.
That was a great ending.
I had arguments with people who said, "Oh, I can't believe they showed the head." I said, "They didn't fucking show the head. The fucking movie."
By the way, that was the best part, not to show it. I mean, that's what I want. I want a movie that's not going to show every.
Well, they showed a lot in that movie, but
movies have been ruined because they decided they were going to show whatever it was. The Alien, remember the movie Cowboys and Aliens?
Oh, that was horrible.
The first half of the movie had promise, and then all of a sudden, the second half is, let's show them everything about the alien.
Was that James Brolin in that?
No, that was Daniel Craig and somebody. And like I said, the first act was, oh, you could do something with this, because it was from a graphic novel. And the second half is, let's show them what the aliens look like. Let's show them the ship.
Well, it is Cowboys and Aliens.
But in the beginning, you were only getting that, like that War of the Worlds, that tentacle come out or something moved here or moved there.
Well, speaking of War of the Worlds.
Oh, so I heard.
Holy shit.
Was it like 0% on Rotten Tomatoes or something?
I had to watch it just because it was getting such shitty reviews, and it is literally. I think we could have made a better movie on our cell phones.
I was watching the trailer for it because they wrecked it, and I was like, "That's not even." It looked like they were reading off cue cards.
A friend of mine said, "It was the worst movie he ever saw," and I said, "Now I have to watch it." And it was accurate. It was a piece of shit, and it really took place. Ice Cube staring at his fucking laptop the whole movie.
It's probably reading
So
his lines.
it's War of the Worlds,
right.
like the original one was the radio show, but this is on the internet now. And how?
Right.
Okay, I want to circle back to 7. The only bad part about that scene with the box was
Right.
Brad Pitt's acting. Horrible.
Him trying to process that was his wife.
Well, him trying to make us think he was crying. He opened the box. It's his wife's head.
Yeah,
How
but
do
it was
you-
just the way he kept turning away and then turning
Looking
back, and then
Yeah, bad acting.
yeah,
I didn't like it. I don't know about you. He's not. Listen,
yeah, no.
he's famous.
Oh, by the way, I think the best movie he's ever done was a movie called Fury, where he was a tank commander, and that cast, John Barenthal, who plays the Punisher. There were so many people in it, and he played tank commander.
I never saw that.
Fury. I'm going to say it was, when you're talking war movies, even as far as accuracy, so well done, so brutal, so gut wrenching. He was great in that. You showed the ugly side of war, and that there are no heroes. And Fury, it's such a. It was the name of. It was the name of the tank. Everybody would name their tank. He was a tank commander, and they would put their name on the cannon, and theirs was called Fury. And it was just them getting the newbie and trying to get the newbie to understand, this we shoot and kill people, but it was just the scenes and the so well done.
See, that's another genre. I have 3 war movies that I could watch.
Okay.
Apocalypse Now.
Okay. Very good.
Saving Private Ryan.
Very good.
And Tropic Thunder. I'm sorry.
Technically,
it
is
is
correct.
And maybe Stripes I'll put in there.
Oh,
But as far as like straight up like
then
World War II movie,
then maybe. So which ones did you see that you didn't? How about? I would recommend Fury, but I would also recommend All Quiet on the Western Front.
No.
Did you see it?
No.
Oh,
No. I was bored to my skull with Hunt for Red October.
That's a whole different.
It's army people in a submarine.
That would be Navy people in a submarine.
Sorry, army people.
I'm old enough to understand that. No, I mean, you talk All Quiet on the Western Front. True depiction of World War One. Such incredible, everything down to the score. Oh, it was just such a great movie. I'll throw Fury out there. I'm sure I'm missing one.
What year was Fury? If I'm gonna go back and watch this,
and you're gonna look at the actors. You can go, I know all of them.
No, I'm sure.
You're gonna sit there, and they're incredible performances. And that's the only one that I think Brad Pitt ever nailed. It's. I gotta take a guess. It's maybe 6 years old.
That's
7 years old.
If I go back, like I have these movies in my head that I've always thought were like so fucking like amazing
until you revisit them.
Like Taxi Driver.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Piece of shit.
Yeah.
I mean, I had this vision in my head of De Niro and you talking to me, but it is a bad, and not even just the acting, cinematography,
the editing.
sound, the editing.
Yeah.
What were people doing back then? I don't understand.
We can go back to The Godfather and it still holds up. Why can't you go back to those?
I guess you could.
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. It still holds up.
Yeah. I don't know what that one. Dog Day Afternoon. Oh my God. Total piece of shit.
Correct.
Now the performance by Al Pacino. Okay. Right. And the guy was Fredo was his brother.
Right.
I'm sorry. I forgot his name, the actor.
He's the one who dates that black chick from that TV show whose name you can't remember either. All the people that you can't remember, they're all dating each other.
Maybe. Who played Fredo? What was his name? Was it Michael something? I don't know. The performances were good, but the movies were not made, I guess, the same. The technology wasn't the same. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's sad.
Yeah.
You're better off just having that vision in your head than going back and having that blown. And now you don't have that memory anymore.
And it ruins it for you. And you think, oh, those great famous lines and then this and that. And it was, that great actor. And and it didn't hold up.
And Taxi Driver, now I'm questioning the writing of the fucking movie because he's infatuated with, I was going to say Brooke Shields, Sybil Shepherd.
Correct.
and he like stands outside of her where she works. Just call the fucking police. She never called.
No.
But so the movie could have been 5 minutes long.
Correct. The police show up, they arrest them. It's over.
I want to share. I think I'm doing this on next week's podcast, but we're gonna talk about it here because I won't. Maybe I won't do the rant. So I'm at Home Depot, and this is another. I don't hate Gen Z. I know many Gen Zers in my life that are level-headed, smart, go-getting people.
Right.
It's probably 10% of the generation. So I get to I'm at the garden center.
Right.
I had to buy potting soil. So he rings it up, and the kid goes, "That's 13 and change." I go,
you should have just taken some change out of your pocket and thrown it on the table and walked away.
I go, "Excuse me?" 32 and change. I go, "Oh,
What's the change?
what's the change? What if my debit card, I only had 10 cents on it, and this is $13.75?
Or you're paying in cash.
Oh, okay. So then I pay. Wait, it gets better. And then he leans out. He's in that little room, and he leans out and goes, "Paper?" I go, "What? Paper napkin? Paper hat? Paper mache? What? Paper what?"
You should have said scissors cut paper.
No, I went like this.
You'd show him rock.
And then he beat me. But he was asking me if I wanted a fucking receipt.
Oh.
And I went, "Paper?" He goes, a receipt. I said, say that.
A paper that says 13 and change on it.
Are they that bothered with having to articulate or I don't know what it is with that generation. I don't know.
They're coming up with their own lingo.
Some of them, I'm saying.
Some of them are coming up with their own lingo. And then this generation is saying, okay, we'll put it in the dictionary.
Well, no, I don't think that's Gen Z. They may have some.
All the generations have their lingo.
I think the
millennials have theirs, the Gen Zs have theirs, and the reason they make it up is
no cap,
correct,
dead ass,
very sus,
very
sus. They want to create something for themselves to be identified by,
or they're that busy they have to shorten their day. I gotta do something else. So instead of saying
somebody starts it and then it just catches like fire.
One of my AI personas that I do music for is a crooner called Victor Dusk.
Mm-hmm.
And I wrote a song, "I Just Don't Understand These Kids Today."
Mm-hmm.
And I have all the lingo in the song.
That's
and
the
him
best.
And him trying to, I don't get it, and he talks about how it was when he was a kid. Or is it that they're that lazy that they can't say?
Oh, no, you have to go out of your way to figure that out, because there's sometimes when they've said something, I went, that is pretty genius what they're throwing out. But you had to think about it. So when you said,
there's nothing genius about dead ass.
No. So when you're saying something is suspect, and they said, "Oh, that's very sus," so somebody had to think about.
I'm sorry.
Can they pull that off?
I'm sorry. That's stupid.
Well, it's stupid to us. It's not stupid. They need to identify. They use it in their own lyrics for their songs. Maybe that's where they heard it. Somebody did it in a movie, and they went, and they copy it.
Whoever thought of it's an asshole. Sorry. Oh, excuse me.
Was it a-hole?
Or dead ass, whatever.
A dead asshole.
It just makes no sense to me. Why don't they put all that effort into working hard? Like I said, I have Gen Zers in my life that I'm extremely proud of, and that work hard, that are go-getters, and then there are some that just they don't want to call people on the phone. And I did a rant about this, so I'm repeating myself. But why can't you fucking, if your cable's out,
right?
Or you're gonna have to call the cable company.
They don't like. By the way, we know the phone as something you can put up to your ear and talk to somebody.
Well, that's what I'm asking them to do.
They don't. Everything is texting. Everything is email and talking is not a thing.
But you can't.
Email and talking is for older people. We text and we send stuff in social media and messenger. That's what they do.
Well, you can't message the cable company. Although they do have chat. Yeah, but it's a chat bot. It's not a person.
Correct. So you're texting them and they're texting you.
But that's not a real person, though.
Correct.
So nothing's resolved.
Actually, I resolved something that way when my cable was out the last time.
The Xfinity chatbot.
Yep. I got on and didn't. I saw what they were asking and I was being very specific. And when they came back with a response, I'm like, nope, that's not what I'm asking.
But you know what
and
I did?
and I said, no, what I'm saying is, and it was the same exact thing. And they went, oh, we do understand your frustration. Okay, then let's check that, because they kept, and then they want to sell you something on the tail end. But in the meantime, we're going to, listen, this happened to me last week is what I typed in. And it was because somebody was working on the pole outside and the signal got interrupted. I'm not turning off the whole world and turning it on again. You need to resend the message, because guess what? That's what happened the last time and it worked. And they said, we will try resending your message. Just give us the, and I gave them the information they needed. And guess what? Everything went on at once. The ring camera went on and the cable went on and shit was just making noise. And they said, by the way, for your plan, do you want to buy a click?
Goodbye. I was using it once. I don't use it anymore because I was using the Xfinity. Yeah, we're going to shit on Xfinity, the chatbot. And it wasn't understanding me. So then I just started to put the lyrics into Good Golly Miss Molly.
What did it do?
It was giving me answers. I'm sorry you're having trouble. Maybe
Molly.
maybe we should try this. Okay. Last time I used the chatbot.
And again, I just kept re-emphasizing what happened the last time and how it was fixed. And they said, okay, let's try that. And guess what? So you're your own best advocate sometimes.
I don't know when we were better off. Were we better off with 3-4 channels?
We were better off when we had that cable box that had that long wire. Remember the box with the...
We used to change it with the slider.
The slider could do 50 channels.
Yeah. But so even before cable, I'm talking, we had you had the rabbit ears, and you had 2, 4, and 7.
Right.
And maybe UHF and 13. I think that was it. And at midnight test pattern.
And being the oldest of 5, I used to have the younger ones change the channels for me.
Look at you.
So that was the benefit for being older. The oldest.
Lazy.
Damn straight. That's called delegating.
And it makes me think back. We were the first house to have a VCR on the block. And it was the size of a Pinto car, I think.
Not as deadly, though.
I think back. I mean, the technology, everything is like...
we had a TV in a piece of furniture console.
Yeah. My grandparents had that. That was awesome, man.
Because they had to hold all those circuits and things.
Nobody fucking stole TVs back then.
Couldn't. Yeah, couldn't.
I don't know. I hate to sound old, but I don't know if we were better off back then than we are now. I'm not, in respect of technology, you can't fight technology.
No, I mean, I enjoy the technology, but back then less was more. So you had, as a kid,
you didn't know less was more because there was no more, right?
Well, you only had, in comparison, of course, you only had a finite amount of things. You had a bike. Your father, before you, didn't have a bike. He had a stick and a rock.
Yeah, I heard that. So
there wasn't a major jump, and now they have all the things.
Yeah, maybe that's why these Gen Xers or Gen Zers are making up words and shit, because they have everything else.
Correct. You're right. It's a filler.
I was in another big box store, which I'm not going to give a free plug to, but I saw a kid could not have been older than 3, 4 maybe, because it had a cell phone. And it was operating it, like it was playing games on it.
Yeah,
And the kid dropped the phone. So I picked it up and I said to the woman, I go, "Oh, your son dropped your phone." She goes, "Oh, no, it's his."
There's a problem.
I wanted to say, kindly get out. Leave your kid at the customer counter and leave. Your parent card has been. Who buys a fucking 4-year-old a cell phone?
No. And it was a straight up cell phone. It wasn't a thing that just plays.
No, I picked it up. It was like an iPhone.
No.
I should have got the number, and then just started crank texting and calling.
And you kind of just kept playing that, The World According to Dick Button's podcast over and over on their phone.
Yeah, loudspeaker through their house.
I'll teach that kid.
Well, teach them somehow. Well, that's not even the kid's fault at this point.
No, it's not. Choice.
You got to take a test to drive a car, but you got to take a test to have a kid.
Mm-mm.
I don't get that.
Nope.
Don't get it at all.
Nope.
Nope. Well, we should do something special for the last episode of season 3 next week.
Okay.
I don't know what. I'm not going to put you on the spot like I did the last 2 times. But let's try to do something. We'll think about it.
I was thinking of something when I was in the gym and I was listening to my music while working out.
Go ahead.
And I'm listening to 2 in a row songs. I went, this is a cover song. There were 2 cover songs in a row on my playlist that were better than the originals.
There are a lot, though.
There are. And some people say, no, that original, there's nothing like. I'm like, it's not like movies. It's not like TV shows. Songs are a whole different.
You do your top 5? I'll do my top 5.
Oh yeah,
better cover songs than the original.
Better covers, but it's got to be significant.
Don't tell me what it's got to be. My top 5 is my top 5. You can't tell me what it's got to be. I could 2 right off the bat.
Okay. Yeah, there was just so many on my playlist.
I'm not going to give it, but I'm just saying.
Sometimes I seek them out. I went, that's a really good song, but I wonder if somebody did it better, only to find out somebody did it worse.
So, the lights went out in Georgia. My lights down here in the basement are on a timer, and we have been talking for an hour then because the lights go off in an hour. For cover songs, and then we'll wrap up. I remember. It all goes back to Kiss, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen. It all just filters back to Kiss. Kiss wrote a song, Hide Your Heart. And it was a demo for a very long time.
Okay. Paul
co-wrote it with what's her name? She wrote with Bon Jovi, and she's a big time songwriter. I forgot her name now. I'll edit it in. And because they didn't put it on an album,
okay,
many other artists
covered it
and used it on their album, from the likes of Bonnie Tyler.
Okay.
Ace Frehley did a version. Molly Hatchet did a version.
Ooh.
The song is Hide Your Heart. And then Paul, in true, hey, that's mine fashion, when he saw other people, then he put it on a Kiss album. And it was a big hit for them.
It was.
And I think they had the best version. Because I had heard the demo track, because back in the day, I don't know if you can even do this now. My Kiss connection, we had the cassette tape of the album a month before it was released.
Right.
So that meant demo tracks and all that shit. So I had access to that, so I knew the song. And there was Michael Bolton didn't do it.
Although he's done a bunch.
Diane Warren is the name of the lyricist.
Warren. Yes.
She's written with Aerosmith, Bon Jovi. She's written with like tons of people.
Did she do stuff with Burt Bacharach? Why does that sound familiar?
Don't know.
But she was big. So was Burt Bacharach, but Diane Warren did a lot of stuff behind the scenes.
And she was I don't even think she sang. And then Desmond Child. Here's
Kiss.
He wrote with co-wrote "I Was Made for Loving You." And that was his first thing he ever did. And he was in a band called Chic, I think, a disco band.
Okay. I remember his name from reading who wrote songs.
I believe he's dead, by the way. So rest in peace. But where was I going with this? Oh, if there's I'll send you the link. He did an album after he became famous writing, but he was already a recording artist with Chic. So it's not that he didn't have any albums out. But Chic was just disco music.
Right.
He had an album called Discipline.
Okay.
And I enjoyed it because I think Paul co-wrote a couple of the songs with him because, they were writing buddies. And it sounded very much like a Kiss album.
How is Desmond Child's voice?
Very good.
Very good.
He's on the tone and tenor of Paul Stanley.
Okay.
He could hold a note. He could sing. It's a good album. And he had a couple of big hits off of it in I think it was late 80s, early 90s. I'll send you the link on YouTube.
Oh, I'd like to see it.
It's a good album. Stay tuned. I have I spent a couple hours last weekend creating new theme music for the intro for season 4. I virtually took every music style and just did one in every version.
It's hybrid.
And thank God for AI, man.
Yeah.
I want to thank you again for joining me on The World According to Dick Buttons. This has been another glorious episode. I'm Dick Buttons. This is
Go Vincenzo or Go Home.
Oh, he's now got a tagline, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for listening, everybody. Same Dick time. Same Dick channel. Over and out, everybody.
World according Buckle up, folks, it's Dick Buttons time. He don't sugarcoat, he don't play nice. Truth bombs dropping like a roller loaded dice. Cut through the noise, through the spinning fluff. Dick's got a mic and he's calling your bluff. It's the world, the world, the